YouTube, this is Slick Talk, and I'm back with another video. So I streamed Zulu Man with some power, Fakaza, and my rating of this album, I'm gonna give it a solid one. A solid one. Terrible album. Worst album of the year. Terrible. This is like a rendition to Zulu. It was terrible. No bars, straight melodies, and auto-tune. It was a terrible album. Overhyped. Nasty C, are you telling me that you took 2 years to make this garbage? 2 years to make this trash? That album was horrific. It was terrible. It's a waste of fucking time. And worse, it's 20 fucking songs. 20 fucking songs, my nigga. You're not Jay-Z. You're not Drake. 20 fucking songs. Nobody has the time to listen to 20 fucking songs, my nigga. That album was terrible. It was horrible. And when I tell niggas that Nasty C is a fraud, people want to question me. I told you that Nasty C is overrated. I've been saying that. Nasty C is one of the most overrated rappers on the African continent. I will say it proudly, one of the most overrated rappers on the African continent. And Zulu Man with some power just proves it. And you know niggas are gonna dick ride. That's a fact. You know celebrities are gonna come out and say, oh, the album was so great. The album was amazing. But everybody knows that album was trash. You know it, I know it. We all know that album was trash. There's not one good song on that album, I'll say it proudly. Not even one good song. And I think deep down, Nasty C knows it. Nasty C was scared to drop this album because he knew this shit was trash. The streets is not fucking with that album. Nobody cares about that album. That shit was garbage. Who is listening to that? How many lines can you quote me from that album? That shit was garbage, and you know it. And you know it. When Paradise 2 comes out, you're gonna see a real album, a real classics. The truth to the matter is Nasty C sometimes makes good songs, but he's terrible at making projects. He's terrible at making a combined artwork. He doesn't know how to make albums. And that is a fact. The last time Nasty C made a good project was fucking Price City. And that was 2015. Nasty C's never been a good rapper. He's always been overhyped. The last project that he had that was good, it was Price City. Everything other than that was terrible. Bad Hair was terrible. Bad Hair Extension, terrible. Strings and Blings, terrible. Zulu Man with some power, terrible. First of all, I don't like the title. It's a fucking terrible title. Zulu Man with some power. That in itself is terrible. The artwork is horrific. And the songs are terrible. It was just a bad album. A bad body of work. And I think Nasty C knows that. Nasty C, I know you listening to this. I know you watch my channel. It was a terrible album. And in my opinion, I think you're overhyped. I think you're overrated. And I think people don't understand. They overhype you because they want certain things from you. Your circle is full of yes men. People agree with everything you say. Nobody's gonna tell you that those songs are trash. If you look at those songs like Steve Biko, my nigga, Nasty C, you've never, ever in your career spoke about black issues. Now all of a sudden in 2019, Nasty C is Steve Biko. Fuck out of here. I don't believe you. You need more people. Nasty C, you've always shied away from topics like race and issues and politics. That's not you, bruh. You're not the real Steve Biko, my nigga. You're not. You're overhyped. That shit was trash, nigga. And I already debunked you with this pro-black talk. Nasty C is what we like to call a selective activist. He will speak on real issues when it's beneficial to his career. Nasty C, you've never been the type to talk about politics and pro-black issues. You've never been that. Your whole career, 2017, Sway asked you, have you ever experienced racism? You were buck dancing and you said no. White people were good to me and I had a white best friend in school. Fuck out of here, nigga. We don't believe you, nigga. You overhyped. You overrated. And Zulu Man with some power was trash. There's not one good song on this album from 1 to 20. It's terrible. And the features, that song with T.I. All In. Whew, that song was so trash. What the fuck was that? That song sounds like a ringtone from a fucking Nokia 3310. It was terrible. It was slow. The feature was terrible. It's like you brought T.I. down, my nigga. You the only guy that can have your idol on your album and still fail, nigga. That shit was terrible. Zulu Man with some power. I give that album a 1 out of 10. Straight 1. And you know what? The album is terrible. Nobody's fucking with that album. But you know what? That album is probably gonna win fucking album of the year, song of the year. That's what's gonna happen. Because he has the right backing. He has the right connections. But deep down, we all know that album was trash. We all know it was trash. There's not one song that you can name me from that album that you would say, no, this is my favorite song. The whole thing was trash. The whole thing was trash. Zulu Man, I already critiqued you on Zulu Man and you got in your feelings and you ducked down like a little bitch and you started commenting. You got in your feelings and you started commenting because you got in your feelings because you deep down you know you're a fraud, nasty. You've always been a fraud. And I see you for who you are, my nigga. I see you for who you are. You're a fraud. You're overrated. Overhyped. You are overhyped media darling. And soon enough time will tell. And I know you hate this channel, Nasty C, because you're like, this Slick Talk guy is different. He's not like the other guys. He's different. Because there's no way we can blackball this guy. There's no way we can stop this guy. And there's no way we can control this guy. Slick Talk is different. And even if Nasty C was to try to sue me because of some of the things that I say on this channel, it would just be a rabbit hole. Let me tell you why. If Nasty C wanted to sue me, you know what I would do? I would do the Birdman thing. I would drag the case for 18 months. I would drag the case for 18 months straight. I would fuck up his career. The same thing that happened to Kulichana. I would fuck up his career because I would drag that case for 18 months and I'll suck him with legal fees. Suck him down to his knees with legal fees. And every time he has something coming up, oh, you have a tour with Young Thug in 2 months? Let me tell you why. Your Honor, I would like to postpone this case in 2 months' time. You're not going on that tour. You're coming to court 9 a.m. sharp. So suing me would just be a rabbit hole. Zulu Man with some power is trash. It's trash and we all know it's trash. We're all waiting for Paradise 2. That's the real album. The real album of the year. Zulu Man with some power is one of the worst albums I've ever heard in my life. And that's hard to do. Because I've heard albums like Bad Hair Extensions and Bad Hair. But Zulu Man with some power is one of the worst albums I've ever heard in my life. It's a terrible body of work. It's a waste of time. And Nasty C needs to go back to the studio and redo everything. And I'm talking everything. And he needs to get rid of that circle because his circle is full of yes men. He's full of yes men. The first thing that Nasty C has to do is get rid of Sammy. That chick is not helping you at all, my nigga. She's dragging you down. Get rid of that chick. Sammy, get rid of her. And get rid of your manager and revamp your whole team. Start afresh, my nigga, because that album was trash, bro. That album was horrific. It was terrible. All of us are waiting for Paradise 2 because we know that's the real album. We know that's the real album. And it's coming. And it's going to be fucking fire. And I'm excited about Paradise 2. Because I know we have a classic on our hands in Paradise 2. Zulu Man with some power is going to come and it's going to go. The same way that the project Zulu did. And the same way that Lost Files did. They came and they went. Nasty C dropped 3 projects this year. And all of them are trash. That's hard to do, bruh. 3 projects this year and all of them are trash. And then you want to respond to a fucking Instagram. Nigga, you're a bitch, bruh. You're a bitch ass nigga. You're a bitch. That's what you are, Nasty C. You're a bitch. And you get in your feelings. You're emotional. You're not built for this shit. You cannot be that emotional handle in this game, my nigga. They reset it. We're all excited about Paradise 2. That album was horrific, my nigga. You need to go back to the studio and you need to go back to the drawing board because that album was terrible. And you know there's gonna be niggas on the internet talking about, oh, Zulu Man with Some Power was a classic. Oh, Zulu Man with Some Power was this. Nigga, fuck out of here. That shit was trash. Straight trash. People, if you're excited about the real album, and I'm talking about the real album of the year, and I'm talking about a classic, and I'm talking about a movie, and I'm talking about bars, and I'm talking about something that I relate to, something that I will listen to, and I'm talking about Paradise 2. If you're excited about Paradise 2, like this video and subscribe. Not that trash song Zulu Man with Some Power. That was horrible. Paradise 2 is coming and I'm excited about it because I know it's gonna go crazy. I know it's gonna go crazy. People, make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe. This is Slick Talk.